Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Action Round Zero's new player spotlight. Today, we're going to have a look at a game between Manzell Blakeley and Harry Wu. Harry, of course, is not a new player. He's been streaming for a while, and he's a valued member of the community. Manzell has recently started playing again, I would say. He played in the ITSL in 2021, 2022, started taking the game a little bit more seriously. He sent me this game and said it was a good one. So we're going to have a look to see how it pans out. Obviously, some ratings discrepancy there. I don't know if you saw at the beginning. It was 1390 something for Manzell and almost 1800 for Harry. Manzell was kind enough to add the hand of Harry because Harry has previously streamed this game or uploaded the game on YouTube. So if you've watched the game there, this might not be super fun to watch again. But, Manzell sent me the game, and I'm so grateful for any games being sent that I feel like I should take the time to cast this. So, looking at this hand, not a lot of ops. Suez is problematic. Hold that for blockade, of course. Makes sense to do. Special with no good headline. I like CIA just to know the starting hand of your opponent. Helps a lot, I feel like. But also, maybe sometimes if you're up against a player who's traditionally higher rated or better than you, it might make sense to play with the higher variance of putting CIA, keeping CIA in the deck. So big coups for Harry here. I'm gonna pretend that I don't really see Harry's hand. Of course, we'll play it as if everyone will see what he has, but we don't need to see it right away. I would say that might have been too early to play NORAD. One in France doesn't really do anything here. So maybe it was too early to play the 3-op there. Maybe 2 ops would have been enough with AI War. 1 into Lebanon, 1 into Malaysia. Also, there's no... of course, you needed a little bit of presence there in Middle East. But I think a 2-op there, Arab-Israeli war, which you know you're going to give anyway, might have sufficed. Although there's a case to be made that maybe you want to space AI war and hold Suez for blockade. But if you have 1 or 2 playable 3-ops, I don't see... you don't have to play it right away. I think that's a little bit too early to space as well. And now, if your opponent plays blockade, you're putting Warsaw Pact into it instead of Suez. So I think maybe a little bit of a misstep here in the order that things are being played. So order of priority. Now I think you want to lower DEFCON. I think you just go ahead and take that coup. Of course, if you had taken the coup already with Romanian, you would now have 3 influence in Romania as well. So I'm not saying you want to take Libya with a coup here. You just do a 1-op coup with Romanian, or earlier, so that you can move into Thailand. I don't know why Manzell would be waiting here to lower DEFCON and move into Thailand. Putting 1 into France there is also... it's an empty threat because you know your opponent doesn't have Europe. They would have scored it already. But playing fast. We'll see. how do we approach this as Manzell? Yeah, I think we need to lower DEFCON here. Like, of course, we're taking Europe down before the end of the turn. But I think moving into Thailand has to be a priority here. And of course, we know that Harry has decall. But now, if he moves into Thailand, what do you do with decall? Do you coup in Africa? Do you coup Thailand? Harry having some decision anxiety here. It makes sense. It's a tough spot for Harry too. How do you decall here? Play one into South Africa, Algeria, Thailand, Indonesia. Laos is good too. Tricky. Manzell doesn't have a good coup target. So by playing decall, basically you're giving your opponent a coup target, no matter where you go with it. Yeah, I think on Harry's screen right now, we'd be seeing quite a bit of going back and forth and looking at how to do this. This might be one of those weird decalls that go, like, I played a game a couple of days ago. I think it was a lobby game, but I ended up decalling into Cameroon because I didn't have mill ops, and DEFCON was at 3, I think. I don't remember the reason, but it felt like going into Cameroon was the right choice. Okay. Yeah, this makes sense. So now you have to coup here. See, this is why you want to hold Suez too. There was no reason to space it when you did. It sounds like I'm talking to Manzell here. I'm not, but now one. So now Harry moves into. I would maybe put one in Zaire and one in Thailand if I'm Manzell or Harry. Sorry. Maybe both in Thailand. Yeah, because you're gonna get cooed in Africa, and that was your way into Africa. So, see now, if Manzell takes Thailand, it's cooable next turn. And if Manzell coups in Africa, you get Thailand on AR1 instead. So you're most likely you're gonna get Thailand no matter what here, if you're Harry. And Angola is the wrong coup target there. It should absolutely be Zaire. Zaire gives access to Cameroon. You can walk to Nigeria, try to get mill ups that way. Okay. Bit more ops this time, but not a great hand again. Having IP war is nice because you can kind of chicken out your opponent from moving in there, but yeah, I wonder what the headline is here. I mean, I kind of like duck and cover, and then you get mill ops and your opponent doesn't, and you get to keep Angola. Yeah, 5-year plan. Okay, we know what's in that hand, but I think I like duck and cover. You're losing Thailand no matter what, so yeah. I guess yeah. This now Harry has a choice to either take Thailand or take the coup. That's true. That's true. So this makes sense. And Harry immediately goes for the UN Japan. Makes sense. And of course, I didn't even comment on it, but Harry tried the Europe defectors thing, which feels so good when it works. But it didn't this time. So Manzell up 3, but Harry's about to get 2 big scorings off. Of course, we know that Asia is not coming this turn, but Middle East is going to be 4 or 5. And he opts to go for the coup. Maybe the smaller coup with the 2 up. And we end up getting Thailand. I would imagine Harry takes South Korea here. I guess this is the longer term play, and I feel like Harry is a long-term player. Just securing Africa in that way is a good way to do things. And now 1 in Pakistan makes a lot of sense too. I really like that. Because now what you can do is you can take both Pakistan and India with your other 4 up if you're Harry. Remember when I said I didn't think that I said we wouldn't be looking at Harry's hand, but we were. Except we weren't looking at it enough to see that he had defectors in hand. So he did not play Europe to make it the defectors fake out. Okay. Panama is perhaps a bit premature, I think, but lucks out with the war there. I think maybe instead of Panama there, you can start filling Malaysia and Philippines, because you know you're going to have to go for a country count against your opponent here. So Panama could probably wait. All right, and now we're going to see an Asia Dom here with just 1. Okay. And an extra VP in Middle East. That I could have seen Harry put into India instead, but yeah, I guess we're in that awkward situation now where we don't really know where to place our ops. This is I would say that this is ill-advised. I might just go for the war here. I feel like Manzell just doesn't know what to do with this ops here. There's always things to kind of prep, look ahead. I think about chess sometimes. When I play chess, I'm really, really bad at chess. And here we go. That makes a lot more sense. I'm really bad at chess, and I always just see the one move threats, and I'm like, oh, I should attack his queen with my knight because I can, but it's actually just going to put the knight in a better, or the queen in a better spot, helping your opponent out. Playing into Japan here, it just doesn't make sense with Japan coming back, maybe even turn 3, which could give Harry a free 4-up. It's better to just fight on country count, put one in Philippines, maybe even put one in Vietnam, in Space Vietnam. We're going to be eventing the war as well, so I guess this is telling Harry, like, okay, go ahead and fill India, and then I'm gonna, yeah. Go ahead and fill India, and then I'm gonna just do the war anyway. But this works out well for him as well. So now we have to do the war, and we have to win it. We do win it. We look out here a little bit, and now Harry is in a little bit of, not trouble, but he has to take India here, or maybe just flip Pakistan. I think flipping Pakistan makes sense if you're Harry. That also lets you hold defectors through the reshuffle, which is nice. Manzell is playing as if he had Asia, so it makes sense to flip here. Now, if you're Manzell, I think you take Afghanistan now, because Harry is also playing as if he has Asia. Yeah, taking Afghanistan and maybe even Philippines makes sense to me here. You're not gonna. You have to cancel this dom somehow. So yeah. You have to cancel this dom somehow, and that cancels the dom. We don't need to put into Philippines, and we even get one more VP. But little does he know that the scoring is not coming now. It's going to be Middle East instead. And now the question is, what do we do with 5-year plan? I would like to see an overprotective France with Sokob's gone, or unseen. Overprotective France, and yeah, there's a good chance we're losing France now. Yes, Asia is unscored, but we're gonna win it on. We're gonna even it out on country count anyway. Oh, and De Gaulle was unseen too. That's right. So yeah, this is. I don't know if Manzell is a card tracks, but yeah, good chance we're losing France here. Duck and cover is now not a good headline because your opponent's going to get France, which he probably will anyway. And I don't want to say I told you so, but U.S. Japan, yeah, 5-year plan's seldom a good headline. Very seldom. You want to be able to control your opponent's play with it. So, like knowing what you're gonna get with 5-year plan if you're gonna 5-year plan. Or in this situation, you know your opponent has D-stall. You try to thin out his hand as much as possible, and then you play 5-year plan. Now Harry has to overprotect Pakistan as well, of course. So putting 3 into France and 1 into Pakistan. Interesting early war here, though. A lot of faking out going on. Oh. Okay. So this gives... Okay, this gives Manzell the chance to flip Pakistan again, which I think you want to do here. Maybe he's going to rely on the war instead, which is something I did as well when I was kind of new to the game or not as experienced. I was like, oh, I'll just win the war. And then you don't win the war. Yeah. One I like the Costa Rica. I just never play it myself. So now we're gonna get cooed there, presumably. And yeah, we'll get cooed there. Harry will want to protect Africa. And then the question is, do we flip Pakistan or do we just play the war? I like just flipping. That's the long-term play. We can still play the war for mill-ops. Yeah. I think if I'm Harry, I just coup Panama here, even with the D-stall in hand. Yeah. It fails, but we get 2 VPs. Actually, just 1. And that could have been a space card too. Maybe you coup with sock govs there instead and space defectors. I don't know. Okay. And now Harry, that gives Harry time to overprotect Pakistan, and we're not getting that DOMs. I think I like the China flip there better. And now if we're Harry, yeah. What do we need to do when we're Harry? We need to overprotect Pakistan. Overprotect France probably as well before we play D-stall. And I wonder if Manzell is going to hold on to Blockade and Fidel until Containment has been played. That's a little bit of a risky play if you yeah, there's a small chance that your opponent could space Containment, and then I guess then you just space Fidel, but so Japan is the unknown card there. Oh, yeah. I think I think unfortunately you have to live with the fact that you lost France. There's no getting out of that. If you want to do the Truman flip, you have to do it on AR6 and then in headline. You can't do it like this, unfortunately. That is way too easy for Harry to dodge. I mean, you even know that he has Containment. I guess the idea would be if if you know he has destall and you know he has containment, and the last one you don't know what it is, it could be Europe scoring, then he would have to repair with containment, and then you could break with blockade, and then opponent has to score, and then play destall, and then you just Truman him out. But with one unknown card, you can't do that. Okay, I do like that. That's a good jam. This puts Harry in a difficult spot now. So now you have to play destall, take out of Romania and Europe the way you usually do. Maybe one out of Iran too. Spread in South America, and just live with the fact that you lost Asia. Yeah. Asia Dom at least. So you score Dom here. You get containment. Harry should probably just spread in South America here. He doesn't really have time for North Korea, which might let, yeah, exactly. And now you play blockade into North Korea and discard Fidel. This worked out well for Manzell, but Europe is looking a bit scary, to say the least. I would have played it differently, but we're up 6, so can't complain. China card's been played twice already. And this is not a fun hand. This is not a fun hand at all. It's the kind of hand where like, what do you headline? What do you headline? I hate headlining nuke subs, because your opponent can make it real awkward. Yeah, I think Panama's better. It puts a little bit of pressure on Venezuela. It puts a little bit of safety on Panama. The problem is, of course, that just makes Venezuela the coup target. Now it is a decent, it's a decent nuke subs mid-turn hand. You've had nuke subs on AR1, and then you have South African unrest to coup with, you have Truman to coup with, you have shuttle diplomacy to coup with, space decall, self-quag. Yeah. Meanwhile, on the red side, Harry's got some problems. I think we might see China card played again here. No good headline. Gonna see Brezhnev, which is a good headline. It is a good headline. Not a perfect headline, but it's good enough for what we want to do here. I think if you're Harry, you just, yeah, you just coup Venezuela, and then, ooh, are we gonna see a Lebanon flip with Tehran here? That would be a mean play that I would really like to see. But yeah, the coup has to go Venezuela, right? And the question is also, is Harry going to play NORAD before the self-quag? And is Manzell going to self-quag? But he should self-quag, because it's either self-quag or play decall. Yeah, this is a tense moment in this game. I think if I'm Harry, I coup Venezuela here just to get him out. Like, I think I'd rather do that than try a big 4-up coup on Panama. But man, if you're Harry, you're just oh, you're logging out, I guess. You're praying for that double space. Here. Okay, here comes that coup, and it goes on. Oh, just slightly too small. Yeah, take that Venezuela, Manzell. Take it. It's gonna be there for one action round, and you have to take it right now. Yep. And I'm not sure, like Harry, even if you win that coup, you lose Venezuela like this, and Panama's going to be realignable if you get a 5 or a 6. I don't know. Now Manzell has a shit hand, or not a shit hand, but it's tricky to play because you have to give Quagmire. Giving Quagmire to an opponent who has China card is always awkward. And I'm not sure about this play from Harry, actually. Going into Colombia like this, it's just inviting a coup. I hate inviting a coup to my opponent. Even with Chayet in hand, it just feels like you're helping your opponent out. Although Manzell should coup with the 2-op here, hoping that we don't go into a coup war. But if you coup with a 1-op, you're still going to have to. Okay, that's why. Because if you roll with a 1 here, or if you roll high with a 1-op, then you're going to lose one mil-op from this. So. And here comes NORAD. Which makes Manzell's hand even. Nope, not NORAD. This is big, actually. If he chooses NORAD, or I guess Manzell's not going to play Quagmire in this tense kind of South American moment anyway. You have to overprotect Venezuela before you do this. Okay, he's just going to take this Dom. I like this, and working a little bit on South Africa as well. It's looking like that's going to be an Africa control. I think now if you're Manzell, you take this moment to self-quag. Yeah, you take this moment to self-quag, and then or maybe you start prepping South Africa a little bit with arms race first. Losing a tempo spacing here feels scary to me. Here's what I could see. I could see 1 into Panama, 2 and yeah. Okay. It's like a waiting move, but we don't have time to wait. Yeah, I would have liked to see either arms race into Panama and South Africa, or the self-quag right away. But of course, the self-quag takes a little bit of prep work. You probably overprotect North Korea. Okay, and he does that. Oh, that could have been a flip, actually, of Lebanon, which would have been mean. But it kind of... Oh, I don't know about that. That's never going to get you anything. It kind of feels like Manzell is not really prepping the whole turn here. He's playing one AR at a time. You have to take back presence in the Middle East, at least. Very important to put presence in the Middle East here. Just one in Lebanon, one in Jordan, one of the two. Probably Jordan, actually. Okay. This play has merit if we hadn't seen Portuguese Empire crumbles. Or if we had seen Portuguese Empire crumbles. Right now it's turn 4 and we haven't seen it. So, and there goes NORAD, and it's going to be canceled by Quagmire. And now we have... Now Harry has huge realigns here. So... yeah, now Quagmire is... yeah. Painful, painful, painful. Okay. Presence in Middle East. One insider does nothing. No. Sorry to Manzell, of course, for me just saying no. But you really painted yourself into a corner here with Africa. So it's kind of like, okay, how are we gonna get out of this? And I don't think there's a good way out of it. You can sense the frustration here. I think you got to overprotect Venezuela too. I mean, he's lucky that Harry has the cards that he has left. Yeah, I think we're gonna see... Yeah. The NORAD Quagmire timing there is just... I think you just flip Angola, right? You don't even have to realign it if you're Harry. Because then what else are you... What's your secondary target? You don't have one. I guess one out of South Africa makes sense. Yeah, I guess you realign. You realign Angola first, and then you realign South Africa. Tough choice for Harry here, I guess. I mean, Thailand's there for the taking too. If you feel like if maybe turn 4 is too early to start thinking like this, but if you start looking at like, okay, where's my where am I weak? Okay, I'm weak in Asia. I'm weak in Southeast Asia. Flipping Thailand here is 4 VPs right away, and another 4 at least in final, but also probably if Asia scores again in the late war. So you might not get another chance at Thailand. You might with a brush war maybe, but maybe flipping Thailand is a bit greedy, but it's there if you want it. So okay, yeah, I like this. And now you space. And what do you do as Manzell here? Yeah, I think you just give unrest. Like what does it do? Poke Algeria maybe? Oh no, you take presence Jordan. You have to put one in Jordan for sure. Put one in Jordan and the other one, I don't know. Saudi Arabia maybe? No. No. It doesn't really do anything. I mean, yeah, it cancels the DOM, but it's so easy to get back. And we all see Harry's hand here. What a monster. What a monster hand. Less exciting for Manzell. Wow. Okay. He did get Brush War, which could be very useful here. And Camp David, of course, gives you the presence. So yeah, that makes sense. ABM hurts. Is that going to go on Thailand? It should probably go on Thailand. And then he has 2 more 4-ups to play into other places. He has no problems in his hand. OAS is a slight problem, but not huge. Ooh, okay. That is the more short-term play played by Harry, but okay, that's fine. And then that goes Panama, I'm assuming. Yep, 2 big rolls, big rolls for Harry. But little does he know, there's no scorings anywhere. So so here's an idea. There's no rush with this brush war, right? Argentina will be protected after Chile is filled. But I think I would have preferred to place into Mexico here, although you don't have ops for it. Not enough ops. Yeah, okay. No, this was the correct play. So this goes Chile and Uruguay. And now we're kind of screwed. What do we do now? Maybe we event Jean Paul. Eventing Jean Paul might be the distraction needed. That's a tough play to make. Praying for dice in Argentina. Protecting with Paraguay makes sense. But I think we might, with a little luck, we could sneak out a draw in Europe before we have to score it. You know, sometimes when you're the USSR, you see the Pope being invented, and you're just like, okay, I'll fix that later, instead of fixing it right away. But now that we gave Willy Brandt, we have to fix West Germany first. And Harry's prepping the walk. Okay. So that goes there. I wonder if Manzell's looking at this John Paul play as well. No. Do West Germany first. Oh, but Europe's not fixed yet. Now you're giving your opponent 2 action rounds to fix Europe. I believe Truman's still known. I think Manzell has held it since turn 2. Is that correct? So Harry knows the Truman's in the hand there. But he doesn't know the abysmal state of the rest of the hand. So, yeah, I think Harry needs to fix Poland here. Maybe that's why the Pope play was never going to work anyway, because Harry knows about Truman here. Okay, so Manzell's clock is ticking. Okay, there we go. Overprotects Panama, makes sense. Yeah, no, you can't play Cambridge. You can't do that. Yeah. I think now you just have to dump the scoring, unfortunately. Yeah, you have to do that. Here comes the space, and now we score Europe. Oh, it looks like Harry is eventing the Surrey here to give up China card. That's interesting. Yeah, okay. And I missed what he did with the Surrey there, but okay. So now we're holding on to China, which is nice, but that was a big ol', what was that, 10 VP swing in 2 ARs. Oh, he overprotected France. Knowing about Truman, of course. So Manzell actually did have an opportunity there to jam Poland with the China card, but tough play to make, even if you have Truman. This is beginning to look very red. We still have Fidel and liberation theology to come to. So what do you do with one Truman op here? Yeah, what do you do with one Truman op? I don't know. Yeah, maybe this makes sense. Grab that presence, break that dom. Even if it's giving up China. Okay, so we get some scorings, get purge. Now, the question is this one of those situations where you know, you have two scorings. Common knowledge says, or common wisdom says, you have to score one of them in headline. But purge is strong here. Little does Manzell know that opponent has 3 1-ops and 2 scorings. So the purge, you're never going to get the full value out of it. But Crane Sail is unspaceable. Yeah. Looking at this, of course, Cuban Missile Crisis is a way out of gunmen. You don't know that that's going to happen, but it is a way out of gunmen. So maybe if we're Manzell here, okay, might not want to do Cuban Missile Crisis right away because then your opponent could just play Lib Theory. But if he doesn't play Lib Theory early, then you can Cuban Missile Crisis and get rid of gunmen that way. Of course, you could also just do How I Learned on AR6 and then gunmen on AR7. So Harry's had some monster hands, and now he has less fun with this one. Okay, he goes with the gotta headline one of the scorings. So now if you're Harry, I guess you take that Venezuela coup right now, right? Try to reestablish that dom. But anyway, you swing it here. Harry's going to be going into the reshuffle with a nice, healthy point lead and a huge board lead. No, Africa hasn't come yet. But Harry's going to space Ask Not, so he knows that Africa is going to be scored either now or on AR7. And just rolls enough on that coup. I think if you're Manzell, you just start scoring here. I would be very scared of liberation theology at this point, so I would score Central right now. Or Fidel. I think Fidel was spaced on turn 2, right? Or is he spaced? I don't remember, but he should be in draw. Is what I'm saying. So yeah, we don't have enough. Checking to see how NATO works. I like putting those into France just for because it's been scored already anyway. You can place into Greece, but placing 2 into France makes it essentially A 4-op play, although placing 2 into Turkey makes sense as well. Okay. Yeah, I'll give him that. But Harry is purged, and there's really very little incentive for him to place into Turkey here. There's no rush with special. You got to start scoring here, and I would score Central first because Liberation Theology is just a fantastic card for Harry to event here. And if he does event it, you're kind of into trouble because you don't have enough ops. This is, you know, we talk about this sometimes about mistakes that newer players make, playing your big op cards right away. Sometimes just hold on to the 3-op, play a 2-op if you want. We don't know what Manzell's plan here is, how to get rid of gunmen. The way he just plays those cards makes it look like maybe he wants to do how I learned on AR6 and gunmen on AR7. But I don't like this. If you're gonna move into Africa like that, if you're gonna move into Algeria in the way that you just did, you got to commit to it and continue. Just take it. Just take Algeria. He's looking at the score and okay. Well, now how are we getting rid of gunmen? Now it's going to be tough to get rid of gunmen. And we're exiting the game for some reason. Not sure why. All right. And now Harry starts dumping his problem cards. Makes sense. He's prepping for, I guess, colonials, which he knows is coming. Oh, just score, man. You gotta score these cards. 3 ops for 2 VPs. Ugh. Hard to see that is worth it, I think. It's not even a country cat in Asia situation. It's just straight up like, yeah. Harry playing the defensive moves here, which makes sense. He's purged. He has a shit hand. I'm Harry. I might. How about eventing Comic-Con? Is that crazy? Gets you some Europe security, gets you access to Greece. Yeah, he's just protecting everything, making things a little cozier. I don't like this Turkey play. And you need mill-ups anyway, so why not just coup Saharan states there? because now we're going to get realigned. I mean, we're not going to get realigned because we know how shit Harry's hand is. But if his hand wasn't so shit, we would be getting realigned here. Actually, we might even be getting realigned now that I look at it because of OAS. Oh, yeah. There it goes. Maybe he'll just fix whatever Manzell does. That would make sense. Yeah, probably just 2 Venezuela makes the most sense. Okay, coup for another mill op makes sense. Now we're gonna get one more mill op here. All right, so we're gonna get 3 there, but what happens? Yeah. We just waited a little bit too long with everything here. Did some stuff that didn't really need to happen. I mean, of course, we're playing special. That makes sense. But yeah. And look out a little bit with his failure of the space race here. But now, if Harry has a big coup on Algeria, this is over. Ugh. Ugh. Oh, and Middle East. Okay. I don't know how we get out of this. What a if there was ever a hand to get Ask Not in. Wow, this is I don't, if they're all in order here, I think in Harry's hand everything except Missile Envy is known, and in Manzell's hand everything except Middle East is known. So yeah, sure, we're getting out of, I mean, this is just over, right? I don't see how I think we should even headline CIA here. To coup maybe Zaire and then try a realign on Nigeria? No. If we lower DEFCON here, we're in trouble too, because then Harry's just going to coup Saharan states and do the realigns in Algeria. Notably, Harry also got Bear Trap and is going to be able to get out of all these problem cards with Bear Trap, and they're going to be gone forever. So, and of course, there's 10, 11 red VPs in Manzell's hand if we count cultural as well. So really tough to see a way out here for Manzell. CIA in hand, gunman in hand, just a dreadful hand here. So I guess what Harry's thinking about here is what his headline should be. He knows Junta is coming. Missile Envy is actually safe for him here as well. That would be a ballsy thing to do. But yeah, Missile Envy is safe for him. Okay, so we lower DEFCON. Loud goes into effect. And I don't see how Manzell survives this turn. Africa's 6, Middle East is 4, cultural is 1. Of course, Harry doesn't know about Middle East, so he might play, China Nixon and give some VPs to Manzell to keep this going. But I think if I'm Manzell here, I instead of junta, I headline CIA and try the crazy Africa flip. Or not flip, but at least some VPs there. Okay, so now we have to space right away. No, we have to space right away so he doesn't get double space. No, we have to space right now. That is easily dodged by Harry by just taking it back. And it's like, okay, so you place 2 into Libya, but then how are you going to take Libya? You can't. You don't have the ops to actually take it afterwards. So yeah, I mean, I understand being at a loss here. I would probably be at a loss too. Like, what do I even? What's even the plan here? Because there is no way out of this. You could try a realign on Nigeria, I guess. Spacing first, it makes sense though. Okay, we lose the space. So he did find the play that I was screaming for, but is there any way to fight for country count in Africa? No, because the opponent knows we have it. He doesn't know about Middle East. Try another space for Harry, maybe? Okay. Yeah, I guess Harry also knows how weak this hand is. CIA gunman. What are we doing? Botswana? I guess we might as well. I mean, we have to get Millops anyway, but gonna have to be a big coup. Okay, it was a big coup. So now Harry has to take Dom in Africa. But I think he just does that with a coup of Saharan states with Missile Envy. Or maybe you just take 2 1-stabs. Maybe that's the easier way to do it, because now it's a juicy realign though on Algeria, and your opponent has 1 ops, just 1 ops left. Yeah, here it comes. No. Yeah, maybe I think just placing the 1 ops is easier here. Instead of just inviting those 1 op coups from your opponent. Since Manzell has the scoring anyway, he's going to be able to coup back until he has until he has it. So it's, although maybe if you give him the one stabs, if you give Manzell the one stabs and they get cooed, then you're setting him up for realigns instead. But yeah, this makes sense. One of those could have been Colombia too, maybe. Set up for that realign. Oh, at least event it. Come on. Come on. At least event that. And that should have been Cameroon probably, because that sets up the Nigeria realigns if you get the big roll on it. But now we are in trouble. We've been in trouble for a while, but now it's really bad. Now we are losing this game. Now there's no way back for us. So yeah, Africa is 6, Middle East is 4. So if I'm unsure of the exact places that Manzell went wrong here, but I think the overall theme, I would say, was playing one turn at a time, or one action round at a time instead of the whole turn. I think that was quite evident on turn 4. Harry had, in general, better hands than Manzell did as well. But there was a little bit of a lack of planning there with Quag and South African unrest and We Will Bury You. So now we're praying that, okay, we're going to get some VPs here if pre-types the GG. The colonials coming out right here. That hurts because you just gave up 6 VPs. But of course not a coincidence that Harry plays it now. I have a feeling that Harry's going to give alliance here, so we're going to see another turn. And you play Allende. And I don't know what you do with Allende. Maybe you coup Nicaragua? It's like, you think you're going to lose the next AR. You're not going to lose next AR, but you think you're going to lose next AR. So you're like, what do I do? What do I do? Coup Nicaragua. He found it. With lads, though. Yeah. And Harry making sure CIA is gone. So yeah, I think as much as it sucks to not win here right away, this makes sense for Harry to give alliance. And of course, he doesn't know that Middle East is coming. So if he did, he would play the China card instead. So I would say put 1 in Venezuela and one in Cuba. Or Colombia makes sense too, of course, for the real lines. Look at 2 VPs, score this, 18. And that is a War Games. Gonna be a win for Harry. So yeah, tough game for Manzell. I think when you're playing against a stronger opponent like this, it makes sense to not headline CIA on turn 1. But maybe it would have made a little bit more sense. Oh, GG, sad face. Maybe it made more sense to headline CIA at the start there. But like I said, in general, this game felt like a little bit of a lack of planning from Manzell. I don't know if it was winnable, but it felt to me like some of the choices just went a little bit in the wrong order. And he lucked out, to be fair, that Harry didn't have Middle East when he left it presence-less. So anyway, thank you so much to Manzell for sending me this game. If you want your game casted by me or a better caster such as Justin, I would very much appreciate you sending it. Either if you want to be one of these new player spotlights, or if you have a 6,500 rating and I haven't bugged you for a game yet, please send me your games. This puts Manzell at 1-5 on the season, and Harry is now 5-1. So again, thank you, Manzell, for sending the game. Thanks, people, for watching. Drop a comment if you have a comment. And on Saturday, we'll have the game of the week again. And it's going to be a good one. So this is Anton Skott signing off, and thanks for watching. Bye.
I heard a young father, a very prominent young man in the entertainment world, addressing a tremendous gathering in California. It was during the time of the Cold War, and communism and our own way of life were very much on people's minds, and he was speaking to that subject. And suddenly, though, I heard him say, "I love my little girls more than anything," and I said to myself, "Oh no, you don't say that." But I had underestimated him. He went on, "I would rather see my little girls die now, still believing in God, than have them grow up under communism and one day die no longer believing in God." between right and wrong,